Hey guys, this is Deb with Four Seasons Crafts. Here to share with you a card as well as the winner of our free kit giveaway. So I am going, so if you're on the mailing list, you would have gotten an email and then I posted it to the Facebook group to list your favorite kit. There's a lot of new ones that have come out. So I'm going to give that away for free. So I wanted to, I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to show you how to make this swap card that I am making for a conference that I'm going to this weekend. Or next weekend. So what I did was on my laptop, I went ahead and went to a randomizer, put in the total number of entries, and there's not many, 3, which is awesome because your chances to win are amazing. So I assigned each person a number from top to bottom as far as who submitted a reply. So I'm going to go ahead and press generate, and I put in the min and the max number. And so it is going to give me a number off to the right. It's on my computer. I don't know. I guess I could do it this way. You guys can see it then. So it's all very official. So I'm going to go ahead and press generate. I just refreshed this. So I'm going to press generate. And it's number 2, which is Amy. So congratulations, Amy. I will reach out to you via a private message, and I think you already got your kit name in there, so I will just send it to you. So congrats. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this card. So I'm going to go ahead and use this Peace on Earth set, and it has a set of dies as well. There's 8 dies, and it has 2 doves and some greenery and a couple label dies too. So that's the kit we're going to use. And then we're also using a couple of the sentiments in here, which I already have those off to the side. Actually, we're going to use, a couple from this one and then one from another set. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of 5 1/4 or 5.5 by 4 1/4, and it's just one panel of a card. That's going to be our card base. Then you're going to have 2 3 by 3 squares and scored or just folded diagonally. So it looks like this. Okay, so you need 2 of those. Just so you know, what I started with is just a piece that was 3 by 6. And then I'm cutting those in half. And then I have a whole bunch of these sitting next to me because I have to make 25 cards and then 23 kind of kits. So you're going to need those triangles. Then you're going to need one of each of the doves cut out in gold. And then I have 1 piece of the greenery. And then we're going to take the larger label die, and this is in Cherry Cobbler, and I just die cut that out. I need 2 of the smaller die cut pieces, just in basic white. And then I have a piece of basic white that is folded, and I scored this crooked, you guys, so it's like off just slightly. But this piece is this piece is 4 by, I'm doing the measurements in my head, by 10.5. Okay, so 4 by 10.5, and then it's scored at 4 inches. All right, so this is going to lay on top of this, of our regular piece here. And then I have a long strip that is 1 inch by, I think it's 10, and we are going to score this at 3 1/4 right here, and then 7 5/8. All right, and I have that written down over here just because I'm using that as my guide. So this is going to be kind of for a belly band. And then I have a little teeny envelope from the dies as well. And then you're going to need a piece, and oops, it's in here. All right, so using this embossing folder, I have a piece in here that is 3 3/4 by 4 or 5 inches. 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Now, this is a piece of the two-toned paper. So you guys can see how I ran it through the embossing folder and see how there's white that you can see. So a little tip, and I'll tell you that more, I guess, when we get to it. So, but this is out of two-tone paper. Everything else is cardstock. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Pretty straightforward card. We're going to go ahead and do our stamping first because we just have 2 pieces here that we have to stamp. So I'm going to, I have one where the stamp is on my old Stamparatus. And so we're going to do it on this just because I'm doing so many. So this is just a much faster way than doing them all individually. So I've already placed my stamp over here. Oops, let me get it over here. So I've already placed my stamp over here. And then I've taken this grid of paper that I cut my label out, and I went ahead and used the magnets to put it on the board. Now the Stamparatus you can't get anymore, but there are other positioning tools. So I would highly recommend it if you do a lot of repetitive stamping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece that I have right here, and I'm going to pop it right down in that spot. And then I'm going to grab Secret C, the new black. Actually, it's not like new black. It's just, but it looks really dark like black, and it really is a nice color. So I'm just going to tap my ink pad over here, and then we'll just push this around and press it down. And perfect. So that's exactly what I needed. So as I'm going through and doing 48 of these, it's just much easier. As you guys can see, I can just stick this right in here, fold it over. If I miss a spot, I can ink this back up and then put it right back over. But in this case, we only need one. So we're all good there. So we'll just move that off to the side. Then I have another white piece that I am stamping, and I am stamping it with Sending Love. Now, you guys will see, this is a dirty black. This is 2 stamps, Sending and Love, that are both in that kit, and I just put them on this block so they're super close, so it will look like they form kind of one sentence or one phrase. So I'm going to go ahead and tap that, and then I am looking for, okay, we're going to try this. I did this. I'm going to take a couple pieces of paper here and put underneath it. So you guys, I did this the other day, and I stamped something, and I didn't use the foamy mat underneath. So when I stamped it, it didn't stamp all the way. Okay, so let me breathe on that for a moment. And I am just going to put this right down in the middle and pop that down right there. And there we go. So that's our second one that we need. And there is one more, I forgot. There's one more piece we need for our card. And let me grab it. And it is this red piece here that we're going to be using. And okay, that's all right. I can't find the other one. So we might have to improvise here just a little bit. So this piece is 2 inches. I think it's 2.5 inches by 4 inches across. And one of the things I want to show you guys, what I did on this particular piece was, if you can see it, the lighting is not terrific in here. I actually just took my scoring tool And I just scored down one line at the beginning, and then I did 4 score lines in a row just to give this some texture. So we're going to make this a gift card holder. So this is where the gift card is going to go. And what I forgot was my circle punch. So I might have to just show you guys that and then actually glue it into the card. All right, so let's go ahead and start putting this together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to adhere our piece of basic white, right, which opens up. So it's like a long thin, and then we're going to put this on here. But before we do that, we're going to take our 2 triangles and we are going to adhere those on both sides. So it looks just like this. Okay, so we're going to take those 2 triangles we created, turn this over, and now I'm going to adhere adhesive on both sides of this triangle. Okay, so I'm going to get my glue here, and I am just going to adhere one first. So I'm just going to really make sure what I want to do is make sure that I have even space at the top and at the bottom. And then I'm just going to fold that right over, make sure it's right up against my card. Let me get out some of this other stuff out of the way, just so don't accidentally glue something else down. Okay, now I want to make sure, first of all, one side, that's exactly, so I'm gluing it to the very back side. Now I'm going to take this one, and how you know if you're doing it right is the points right in the middle should line up. That's how you know if it's positioned correctly. So now I'm just going to take this and add some adhesive here. Go. And fold it over. Now, probably the biggest mistake, and I haven't done it yet, but you know, I'm going to be kind of the assembly line here, and I'm thinking, wow, I'm going to end up accidentally gluing something on to the wrong side. So just remember the triangles go first. And I always think it's such a great idea to lay your card out when you get all the pieces. Go ahead and lay it all out on your cardstock first, then glue everything down. And that way you kind of know if you have everything in the right places. Okay, so there we go. So we're just going to pop that right down there and adhere it, make sure it's straight. So I don't know if you guys have ever done like a shoebox swap. That's basically where you sometimes have like 20 cards and you'll make 10 of them yourself, just like we're doing here. And then you'll have another 10 that are kind of kits. So you put all the pieces together, and then when the person comes in, 10 people get the card, and then another 10 people will make the card. And that way they end up with a lot of cards, but they didn't necessarily have to make all of them right then and there. So it's kind of a fun way. It's a great thing to do. Even if, if you have other people that like to craft, it's a great thing to do. What a holiday or whatever. All right. Okay, so there we go. So that is on correctly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece here and we are going to adhere it to the front. But before we do, we want to take a sanding block, which is what this little guy right here is. Okay, and it's basically a nail. You can take like a sanding block for a wall that's like that real fine grit is what you want. These you can get on Amazon they're like for your nails. Or you can get one of those square block ones. I picked one up. It's actually sitting across the room. It's like $1 at Meijer. So, but this one, they're nice and reusable. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it across this piece of paper. And what I want to do is to show the white. But what I was going to tell you as I'm doing this is this particular paper, what they call two-tone. So this is the dark side and then this is the light side. Hopefully you can really, I think on camera, you can really tell the difference. In between, it is white. So this two-tone cardstock, and I didn't know this until just recently, the color is painted on or sprayed on. So when you get cardstock like this right here, if I were to rip it, it would be red all the way through. This is like dyed pulp, okay, paper. So, and that's what makes that's what makes Stampin' Up! Cardstock. The two-tone like this is paint cardstock. It's a little thinner, but it is painted. So you will find sometimes that the color is less consistent because it's being sprayed on. But then when I take something like this nail file, I can run it across here and I am going to get a totally different look, because now I'm kind of peeling off, or filing off, I guess I should say, the actual color. Now that obviously is totally optional if you decide you don't want to do that. Got a little mess here now, so let me. So if I were doing this, I would do it probably, you know, on a totally different sheet of paper here. But we'll get some of that off, and then the rest I can, you know, we just brush it all on the floor, right? Okay, so here we go. So now we're going to bring our card back in. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this piece right to the center of the top of my white card. So most of the work here for this particular card, I feel like is just, you got some pieces that you have to, you know, die cut out. And then this one you have to emboss. And you can emboss with anything you have, you guys. You can, if you don't have this particular one, you can take any piece you would like in the center there, for sure. Okay, so there we go. So we're just gonna pop that right in there. Okay. And then I'm going to take my piece that is just the white piece, and I'm going to put that right in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that right to the center. And then I have this, oops. By the way, the other thing I learned from the virtual scrapbook retreat, and I did not know this, but if I take this piece and I go ahead, and I'm going to do it right now because I'm going to do this next. But if I take this piece here and I put glue all over it, I'm going to just set it off to the side. And what will happen is it'll actually become tacky and it'll still adhere, but it has a tendency to get less like oozy. So I thought that was kind of cool. All right, I have this small little envelope, and I'm just going to grab a glue dot because I think it'll stay on a little better. So I'm just going to take a glue dot here. Here we go. Pop that right on there. And I am going to put it right here off to the side. Okay, and now all we have to do now is create our belly band. Now let me show you this. This piece here is going to get glued on the inside, but I need my circle punch, and I need to make a half a circle right here. So that's the part that I'm not going to glue it down because that, but then it's going to make a pocket. So which is super cool because it says sending love. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take and make our belly band. And so all we're going to do here is we are going to take this piece that we just put glue on, and we're going to put it right in the center here. And then we're going to take our belly band here, and we're going to layer these over this way. And we're going to adhere this together right where they come together. Just like that. then I'm taking and putting a little bit of adhesive on both sides here. And I'm going to take this piece here and I am just going to trim it. And then all I'm going to do, because I want it to stick out a little bit, so I'm going to grab some of that glue and run it out a little bit there. Oops. Get it more over to the ends. And the same thing, oops, same thing on this side. Kind of make it so it kind of comes out like that. And this is all going to get covered up, so we're not going to see it. And then we're just going to take our two little guys. Well, we'll put these on last, actually. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some adhesive right here. And I'm going to take my red and I'm going to just put this right in the center there of my belly band. Right like that. And then all I have to do now, I'm going to grab some dimensionals and I'm going to put a couple of them up here right next to each other. And then I'm going to take one of my little birds here and I'm going to put it right up here. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here, put a couple dimensionals. And make sure I'm covering them up. Yep. And I'm going to take this bird here and put it right here on that belly band. And then the last thing I need to do is I'm going to tie a bow, a really small bow for around, so I can put it up by, oops, let me get a little more here. There we go. Oh, look at you guys. I was taking off my nail polish and I just realized it's like half on and half off. Okay, that's like totally gross. All right. Oh my. Sorry about that. I had done a lot of yard stuff today. And so obviously, I started picking it off and I just realized, well, that is just disgusting. Okay, sorry about that. All right, here we go. So now I'm going to add a glue dot to our nice ribbon and I'm going to put that right around this little dove's neck, right there. And now you guys, oops, that was sticky on the back there. Let me get that off. Oh, I have a little bit of glue that oozed out right there. You know how, remember, I just didn't let that like take a chance to dry. So we'll get that off a little bit there. And now, oops, we'll get rid of this. Now what we can do is we take our finished card here and I'm just going to put this right through, right there with our belly band. Oops, make sure it doesn't get caught. And voila, look at that. It slides perfectly on and hides the back of our initial message. And now when someone takes it off, they'll just slide it off here, open it up, and then, oops, and then the piece comes off the middle. Let me show you another one that I did, which this is, you know, same exact card. And then when they open it up, but I'll show you then the inside. This is what the inside will look like, this little pocket here. And you can stick a gift card right in there. All right, you guys, I hope you love this. I hope you love the card. Congrats, Amy, on the kit. And you guys, I will look forward to next time and I will show you another card. All right, we'll chat with you later. Bye.